All right, let's see. All right, we're good. Are we live? All right. Welcome to another episode of the Mulberry podcast. I'm your host, Dallas Huford, and this is episode 8 of the MDP. I'd like to welcome back everyone who's back with me, listening again, watching again. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for the support, and I hope you enjoy. Also, I would like to make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. I'm trying to get this thing growing, man, every week. Uh, if you guys want some merch, if you guys are looking for merch, mulberrydreams.com is where you can find that, or you can DM me on Instagram at mulberry_dreams. Right now we have the Dream Juice tea right here. I have 3 teas left in this, just 3 mediums. That's it. And then I have another tea, the Mulberry's Drugs tea. All sizes are available, but I think there's a few sizes where there's only one size left. So yeah, if you're interested and you're looking into getting some merch, make sure you hit me up or go to mulberrydreams.com. Not a whole lot to talk about this week for obvious reasons. One being the coronavirus and this pandemic that's going on. This last weekend was right before the weekend in California here. It was everyone had to stay home, or didn't have to, but it was highly advised. A lot of the non-essential businesses, that's what they called it, shut down. Unfortunately, well, I guess, I say unfortunately, but it is actually fortunate for me that I work for an essential business, and that basically means that even if we're told that we can't work, or like the government says, yeah, you guys need to not work or stay home, where I work right now, we still have to work. I work for a printing company, and the reason we stay open, you think that's pretty stupid, I print labels. So, but what's crazy, well, not crazy, what's obvious is that we print a lot of packaging labels for food. So we're considered an essential business pretty much because of that, I mean, for other things too, but just the main thing I see is food. So when you go to the store and you look at a label of something, it has like the nutrition facts and all that, and labeled what it is, that's what we print, a lot of that. So even if like it gets crazy here and they have to like martial law comes into effect or whatever, or like the next step from what it is now, I'll still have to go work. Fortunately, I'm getting paid. What's unfortunate is people who are out of work and aren't getting paid. And, I really hope everyone's doing well, by the way. I really hope, you are being mindful of your community, of your neighbors, and not just yourself. So I'm seeing a lot of that, a lot of selfish activities going on. But we can get into that in a minute. But, it's nice to see that, the government, I guess, is trying to help, with people and like companies, like PG&E and stuff, where if you can't afford to pay your bill, it seems like they're not really sweating it right now, which is good because they understand the situation. So in that sense, that's why I say I'm fortunate, because I still have a job. I'm still, getting paid. And another thing is I work at night, so I'm not really around a lot of people anyway. I see like the same 12 people every night, and like on my way to work, it's not all packed and crazy, traffic, all that. So, but this weekend was pretty damn boring. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I didn't do anything actually. I just stayed at home, which pretty much what you should do. I know it sucks, but look, man, we're all in this together. No matter if you like it or not, if you think you're gonna get sick or not, even if you might get it, you might get the coronavirus and it might not really affect you, but the point is that it affects other people. So that's where the part where I said, to be mindful, that's where that really uh, comes into play, and not getting in fist fights over the last fucking pack of toilet paper in the grocery store, or robbing old people when they come out of the grocery store. I've seen videos of both of that already, and you know what? It's not even at its peak yet. It's not even at its peak yet here of what's going to happen or what it could be. And people are already freaking out, I really think about when you look at China, and they're already like over their peak, and they're like flattening the curve basically very quickly. So people are like, oh yeah, we'll be fine. Well, you know what? They all worked together as a country, and I don't see any of that around here. So I really think it's going to take a lot longer in this country for it to like really flatten the curve and start, everything start to get better. I just honestly think that's just like the capitalist view of this country and people. You really see how people react when things get a little scary, or there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You start to see how people act and behave, and it's kind of sad, to be honest. And what sucks for people like me is I see what's going on, and I'm looking at like, man, I better go to the grocery store and double up on, like, stock up on things, not because of the virus or because I'm scared of that and need to like stay home, but because of how people are acting and people hoarding everything for themselves. So when I need essentials and I can't even go get what I need, now when it is there, you best believe I'm going to double up, triple up, because who the hell knows when I'm going to get it again, And I shouldn't have to live like that. And we live in a first world country. I mean, none of us should have to live like that. So, man, I just started this pod off hot and heavy, boy. I'm telling you. I mean, but this is the main thing that's going on worldwide. This is a worldwide event. And, my prayers out to everyone in this country, around the world, especially in Italy, where just recently they had a death toll, like a record, or like over like 700 deaths in a day in Italy. I don't know what's going on over there or what. Man, they got the wild virus, man. I don't know what's going on, or maybe it just hasn't hit here yet like that. Like I said, I know we're not even at our peak yet, and all I'm really seeing and worried about is like the way people act and are behaving. I'm fortunate. I feel fortunate to live in like, a smaller community. I don't know, man, I'd be a little worried if I was living in the Bay Area or in LA. But yeah, man. Another thing I saw actually, which is pretty nuts, was the Texas lieutenant governor says U.S. should get back to work amid coronavirus shutdowns. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is someone who doesn't really care about you or your health, much less the economy or something like self-beneficial. And people like this is why it's going to take a lot longer in this country for everyone, like, for this to like blow over. It's going to take a lot longer than it did in China. And let's see, he said Monday night at the U.S. Governor said Monday night that the U.S. should get back to work in the face of global pandemic, and that people over the age of 70 who the Centers for Disease Control says are at higher risk for the coronavirus will take care of ourselves. So apparently this man is over 70. He then goes and says, let's get back to living. Let's be smart about it. And those of us who are 70 plus will take care of ourselves, but don't sacrifice the country. Are you fucking kidding me? Let's get back to living. Let's be smart about it. Being smart about it is I do believe that social distancing is being smart about it. By the way, this dude is speaking for people 70 and over, for all of them. This one guy. So for one, you should never do that and speak for everyone else. So he's basically up there like, hell, you know what? I think we all need to get back to work. I'm tired of this social distancing bullcrap. Okay? My sister lives over yonder, and I've been trying to hook up with her for a while now, and I can't get to her. Okay? So you know what? This social distancing bullshit needs to end. And all you old fucks just sitting around playing bingo, you need to start thinking about your country, boy. Get your ass back to work. I don't care about no coronavirus, boy. That goddamn coronavirus. I'm from Odessa, Texas. By the way, all you sports organizations canceling your fucking seasons, pushing back your seasons, I tell you what. In Odessa, we don't cancel football. We're state champions, boy, and that's how it's going to be this year, next year, and the year after that. We cancel no season for no goddamn coronavirus, boy. And if you don't like it, boy, you can send your ass on back down to Guadalajara. Oh, my God. Who is listening to this dude and saying, oh, these old fucks gonna take care of themselves, and everyone's just like, hell yeah. Dude, don't sacrifice the country. These people are 70 plus. They done did enough for the country. And I bet you a lot of them are in the military. You're gonna tell these dudes, don't sacrifice your country? He's more worried about the economy and all that, dude, than just the well-being of humans. That's my point. Is more worried about this dude. Who is this? What's his name? Let me find it. Of course it doesn't say. Dan Patrick. I thought that was like a NASCAR driver. That girl. She does like the Indy 500. It's like Danica. Oh shit, Danica Patrick, boy, speaking up. Of course he's Republican. I mean, it is Texas, so I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what? And fuck all them fucking liberals out there in Austin, Texas. You could just go ahead and fence them off. Stupid son of bitches, boy. I tell you what, boy, them motherfuckers, they don't know what they're talking about over there. Shit. Come on, West Texas, they don't know what gonna hit them. All right, I'm done. I'm done with this dude. Yeah, Danica Patrick. Dan Patrick. Oh my gosh. My lord. But anyway, I'm really tired of talking about the coronavirus, man. I really am. But I do want people to be safe. I do want people to be healthy. I am, doing my best to, continue the social distancing. I mean, I don't really fucking talk to that many people, hang out with that many people anyway, boys. Shit. I'm like, all right, bet. So continue doing what I'm doing or what? But man, I do have to go work. My dad has to go work. He's a truck driver, and I'm honestly really worried about him and all the truck drivers who, who have to go into the Bay Area. Jeez. Who have to go into the Bay Area, who have to, deliver the stores. I mean, they're the most vital business right now, are the truck drivers who are delivering all these supplies to all the people in need, because there's a lot of people who are in need. And honestly, without truckers, America stops completely. So you could shut down the bars, you could shut down the fucking barbershops, you could shut down whatever, but you cannot not have truck drivers especially at a moment like this where it's very important. So if you're a truck driver, shout out to you, and my prayers go out to you that you're safe, and hopefully, you're able to not really be around that many people. But I know, you got to do what you got to do. And, when you're going to liquor stores, you just don't know who you're going to run into. And, it's a risk. It's a high risk. And like I said, my job, I don't see it as very high risk. I am very mindful. I do wash my hands frequently. I wear gloves as much as possible. Try not to touch a lot of shit. Try not to touch my face. And what's funny is something crazy like this. I mean, it makes you mindful of things you should already be doing. I see a lot of jokes like, oh, people finally about time, people start washing their hands, that this is like a new thing that they discovered, but, it is good. It is good to be mindful of it all though. So yeah. Now that we talked about what I wanted to talk about, I have a couple other things I want to talk about actually. But I guess, you know what? We could start off with, what is this? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about Tom Brady first, actually. Damn, man. I was wrong. My cousin was wrong. A lot of people I talked to were wrong about Tom Brady and where he was going to end up. So he ended up with the Buccaneers it was 2 years for $50 million, or $50 million for 2 years, however you want to say it. And good for him, man. I'm happy for him. And you know what? I'm very happy that the New England fans weren't assholes. I have yet to see like a New England fan like burn his Brady jersey, talk shit on Brady. I mean, that is the one man in all of sports that you should have zero reason to talk shit about, unless you're a Raiders fan with the tuck rule. But fuck the Raiders anyway. But no, but I mean, that's the one player that you shouldn't have anything negative to say about. And especially being a New England fan, he got you how many Super Bowl wins? Was it 5 or 6? I think it was 6 Super Bowls. Man, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, okay? We have 5 Super Bowl rings, and I have not been alive to see one of them, okay? This dude got you 6 Super Bowl rings. And that was all in my lifetime, by the way. That's insanity, dude. That is insane. But, and he's so cool, man. And you know what? He was never the highest paid quarterback. He was never the highest paid quarterback and should have always been the highest paid quarterback. Never asked for it. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he took pay cuts in order to pay other players on his team to keep them on the team, because he knew what was more important than him getting all the money was having a team around him that could get him to a Super Bowl. Because you know what? You can't do it by yourself, but if you're Tom Brady, you almost can. I mean, you almost can. But he knows that, like, he needs people around him. And that's the type of dude that you want on your team. That's the type of leader you want, because he's not in it for the money. He obviously never was in it for the money, okay? He's in it because he wants to win. And people like that deserve a spot in heaven. I don't give a fuck. And he didn't demand anything. And when he went to Tampa Bay, he never said, I want to be in charge of the offense, or I need this guy on my team, or I'm not coming unless you get him. Like, he did not make it hard at all. All he asked, actually, was for the phone numbers of all his teammates. He just wanted their phone numbers. And you know what? I think that's fucking awesome, dude. That is like the coolest thing I ever heard. It really is. But what it gets me thinking is, man, what happened in New England for him to leave? And I don't think we'll ever really know what exactly happened, because he's just the type of guy who he's never going to come out and talk about that. That's private business. But I do think something happened. I do think that maybe there were some discussions or some arguments that went down. You know, what I would like to think that it is, I would like to think that he is tired of, which I've talked about before, but he wanted to win. I think he wants to win without Belichick because, I mean, they talk about that being the greatest tandem in NFL history in all of football. So, you know, maybe he does want to solidify his greatness. Like, you know, I mean, he's won 6 Super Bowls. What more does he need to do in New England for you to say, okay, we get it, you're the best? Like, it's almost to the point where people are like, dude, just let someone else win already, bro. Fuck, we know you're good. You don't need any more. That's basically how a lot of people feel. Like, a lot of people they're like, man, I don't even like the Patriots. They're always in the playoffs, always in the Super Bowl. And, you know, it's true. But you know what? At this point, I'm like, might as well just let him keep going, dude. I want to see how many he can actually get. So maybe he was like, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to go to another team. And I'm going to win. I'm going to do this with another team. And if he does, which I don't think he will, because the Bucks, I mean, you should have went for the Titans, dude. Fuck, I'm still mad about that. Fucking sign Tannehill. All that money, dude. The Titans, and then you guys franchise tagged Derrick Henry, and I know he's pissed off about it because he wanted his money. Dak Prescott got franchise tagged too, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. I got some beef with him. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so Brady went to the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks are like that, but what I'm saying is, okay, look, if he could do something special with the Bucks. I mean, even if he doesn't make the Super Bowl, but if he can go deep into the playoffs with the Buccaneers, in my book, it's like, dude, this dude's the man, okay? This dude's the man. So I'm excited. We'll see what happens. But like I said, who knows if, I mean, there even going to be a season, because who knows how long this coronavirus still is going to go on. I mean, they're saying all this shit talking. They're obviously assuming that there's going to be a season, but you know what? You really don't know, and none of us really know. So, I mean, and like I said, at this point, I'm not really, I guess I am excited, you know, when I think about it, but then when I think about, like, reality and how it is now, that's the last thing we should all really be thinking about, you know? So, I mean, this is a real problem going on in the world that, you know, everyone needs to partake in order to make it better. But yeah, so my beef with Dak Prescott actually is, where's it at? So keep in mind that Brady signed 2 years for $50 million. This was March 7th. The Dallas Cowboys have reportedly offered Dak Prescott a contract that averages $33 million and includes $105 million in guaranteed money. $105 million guaranteed. $33 million a year. And he said, nah. Now, I have a huge problem with that. I have a very huge problem with that. So he wants to be the highest paid quarterback. Okay, first of all, buddy, Ezekiel Elliott just got paid bread last year on the Cowboys and had a very subpar, he didn't have a very good year, in my honest opinion, okay? Secondly, you went 3-0, and there was talk like, okay, you know, Dak, yeah, he's going to get paid. Then you lose the next, like, 3, I think, or 4. Basically, you had a shitty-ass year. You didn't make the playoffs, and now you want to be the highest-paid quarterback? You're not satisfied with $33 million a year, $105 million guaranteed on a team that didn't even make the playoffs? I don't know I think he's comparing to Carson Wentz, who's on the Eagles, who is not very good, in my honest opinion. They're stupid for letting Nick Foles go. Because that year that Wentz got hurt, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, Nick Foles did that. Okay? The only thing Wentz has over Dak is that he has a Super Bowl ring, and it wasn't even because of him. It was because he was just on the team, and he was hurt. and he got paid a lot of money, but I think Dak wanted more. Let's look at Carson. Actually, let's look at Carson Wentz's Carson Wentz contract. $30 million is spread out over 5 years. That's $6 million a year from 2020 to 2020. That's not even what? Well, hold on. It can't be right, dude. Let me see here. Yeah, I was about to say this dude. What is this? Base salary, signing, roster, option. Yeah, that's what it is. 4 years, $128 million, with a $16 million signing bonus. Average salary $32 million. What the hell? Is that for him? Yeah, that's his current contract. So his average is $32 million. Dak was going to get 33, and he didn't want it. And Wentz has a Super Bowl ring that he didn't earn, but he has a Super Bowl ring. I mean, what are you going to tell him? So you know what? I don't know what's wrong with that guy. I really don't. And now he's got franchise tag, so now he's not getting paid. I mean, he gets paid like a league average or some shit, I think, for like the average of the average of quarterbacks. But other than that, that's it. So what are you going to do? I'm not too happy with the Cowboys, to be honest with you. I don't really know. I don't really expect much from them this year. I don't think Dak has what it takes. I really don't. He puts up a lot of numbers, yeah, and he's a great fantasy quarterback. If you've had him on your fantasy or played against him, you probably lost because he puts up numbers, dude. He puts up like 400-plus yards. He got all types of touchdowns. But you know what, dude? I don't care about that. You know what I care about? I care about what you're going to do in the last drive when we need you. When we need you to win, when we need you to get to the end zone, when we need you to get to in field goal range. What are you going to do then? Okay? I don't care what you did against the Jets and you put up massive numbers because you lost the game. I don't care what you did against the Packers when you were down 34 to something and you came back and lost by one possession, got all types of touchdowns and numbers because you lost the game. The only stat I care about is wins and losses. As a fan, whoop de frickin' do for you, dude. I don't care. Okay? You know who's great? Do you know who's clutch meters through the roof and didn't even have a great season but still made the playoffs? Aaron Rodgers. That dude's clutch meter is through the roof. I've seen him so many times carve up defenses at the end of the game. I watched him live in the playoffs at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, beat the Cowboys on the last drive to win the game. He does that all the time. The Packers weren't even good last year, and they were in the second round of playoffs. They beat the Seahawks in overtime, who should have won that game, and were a much better team than the Packers. Wait, no, they didn't. No, the Niners beat them. And who did the Packers play? They play I think they played the Vikings. I don't know. I don't want to look it up. They made the second round playoffs, and they got totally annihilated. Or did they make the second round, or did they make the one? Oh, my God. I think they made the NFC Championship. Actually. Let me see. Oh, no, I meant 2020. I'm stupid. Wait. Yeah, it was the Packers. They made the NFC Championship with a no-name. Yeah, okay. With a no-name defense. And by the way, the Seahawks should have been there, not the Niners. Seahawks I honestly feel like the Seahawks had a better team. They just played hard. So you got Aaron Rodgers. That's all basically the Packers have at this moment, and a no-name defense, and they made it to the NFC Championship. You know why? Because they win. They win games. That's what's most important. I don't know it's nothing secretive about it. So that's my beef with the Cowboys is they all every year put up a lot of numbers. Oh, all these stats, but your wins and losses, man, that's all I care about. You go to the playoffs and you guys lose all the time. Why don't you go to the playoffs and win? The only way you guys get to the next round of playoffs is when you have a bye because you fucking earned it. And then you go and you play and you guys come out soft. It's ridiculous, dude. And 2 years ago, you guys played so good and just get ran all up and down the field by the Rams. You know, a lot of you guys probably don't care, but I'm a Cowboys fan, like die hard, and it's just sickening. It's sickening to watch, dude. To invest all that time and energy into a team who doesn't care. They don't care. You should see how they're sitting on the sideline last year, getting raped straight up, just losing, just no care, no energy, none whatsoever. It's just sickening, and I'm losing sleep over that. I have to work Sunday night, and I'm up 2, 3, 4 o'clock watching these guys. Nah, I stopped doing that. I don't even watch after games last year because you know what? And you know what? I'm glad because I would go to sleep and I'd wake up and it just got pummeled. So it's like, whatever, dude. I'm not losing sleep over that shit. By the way, Rams, they got a new logo. They got a new logo, and it is the ugliest logo I've ever seen in my life. It is the ugliest logo. It's this shitty-ass ram, and it the ram, like the ram part, is that what it's called? The hoof? Not the hoof, that's the foot. The ram part, dude. It looks kind of like the Chargers logo. Like the LA shit, it just looks terrible, dude. But this ram, dude, it looks soft. And it kind of looks like the Chargers logo. You guys bit off the Chargers. You guys are both in LA. And you know what? You both suck. So I don't really care. But I'm just looking at it like, dude, if you lose to the Rams and they're wearing that on your helmet, you guys just go ahead and call it a season. For whatever reason, it kind of reminds me of a Pokemon. What's that Pokemon's name? Oh, what's that? It kind of reminds me of I think the Pokemon's name's Vulpix, and it looks like a little girl Pokemon, like this little dog looking thing. Dude, that's what it reminds me of for sure, dude. But yeah, Rams, I don't know. You guys just took another hard L. You guys had such a great year 2 years ago. Then you come out and have a shit year. And then to start this year off, you come out with this sorry-ass logo, dude. You guys get your fucking mind right. That's all I'm saying. That LA life's already consumed that organization. But, anywho, what do you guys want to talk about? I didn't get any new, I don't have any new signatures. I put some stickers on my table, but I didn't get no new signatures because it's just me today. I'm not going to write my own signature on it. So, what is this? Oh, yeah, this is something I want to talk about, actually. So the other day, I read an article that Playboy magazine is closing down and probably for good. And that kind of hurt my feelings, to be honest. And I'm going to tell you why. So I've been subscribed to Playboy magazine for like 3 or 4 years now. And I've just been collecting the magazines. Most of them I still have in the wrapper. Like I don't even take them out. I just want them because something about the just having the physical copies of it, I just really like. Cause I could have got the like the digital versions for like way cheaper a year, but I didn't. What's the point of that, dude? Like it's 2020, dude. If I wanted to look up some titties and ass, like you could just Google ass and titties will come up. I'm not gonna pay for a subscription for some digital ass and titties when I could get it for free. The point of me paying the subscription was the magazine itself, the Playboy mag. It's like it's iconic. So you know what? In December of 1953 was the very first Playboy magazine, and it was the one with Marilyn Monroe on it. And that it's a very rare Playboy magazine, by the way, and it's the only one in 1953. I seen one on eBay in like really good condition for like $26,000. Then there was another one on eBay. It was in like decent condition for like $8,000, but that's still a lot of money. Okay, but that kind of showed you the value of it, right? But now you put an end mark. Put an end mark on it, okay? 1953 to 2020. Now it becomes more valuable. Everything, all of the magazines now become a little more valuable. And over the years, the longer it goes, they will become more and more valuable. And that's a part of American history. And that's why I find it so intriguing, so interesting. And I'll get a little more into that in a minute. But what was I going to... so last week or 2 weeks ago, I got the spring 2020 edition in the mail. And I was reading in the article, and that's going to be the last magazine they print. They're done. And a lot of it has to do with the coronavirus and the lack of supplies they're able to get. But it was already an internal talk that they've been talking about, like getting away from the magazine. And, you know, they still do like collaborations, like clothing collaborations, and they've expanded their business to like reach a larger audience. And like the magazine and like the nudity and like that like kind of attracts like the male eye is kind of a thing of the past, especially with nowadays. Like I said, you can literally just Google ass and titties and that's what'll come up. So, but it's just sad, man. It's just a big part of like American history that's just going to be no more. And, you know, for the longest time, like no one really cares about Playboy like that, you know, and they've like, you know, they've gone away with like a lot of nudity. There's only like a few within the magazines, like the newer ones. But, I think what really like drew my attention like had nothing to do with like no sexual like drive towards like, oh, I want to get some Playboys. It was more of like a collector's thing. And I just found it's like super like interesting, especially it being as old as it is. It's the very first like magazine to be like that. I think the next one was like Penthouse, came out in the 60s, and then Hustler came out in like the 70s. So Playboy was really like just like the blueprint for a lot more than most people realize. Just with the, you know, because when you look back in the 50s and how a woman was looked at and a woman was treated and a woman was thought of, they were looked at as like, you know, you're the housewife, you're going to cook for me, you're going to, you know, wear your little dress and apron or whatever the hell, and you ain't going to leave the house, basically. You know, you take care of the kids, and there's a lot of expected of them. They weren't really like given the freedom that they are now. And then boom, you got a Playboy magazine in 1953, and it really drew a lot of attention from people of all different statures within the country. You know, because there's a lot of segregation and a lot more racism back then than there is now, and it kind of one of those things where everyone was just interested. Everyone, like, it was like a lot of people were, the majority was obviously supportive because it lasted this long. So you look at that and you look how you know, that as society transitioned, it was still there. It was still around. And things have changed from 1953 till now. But, you know, obviously when technology came around and how easily accessible that is just on your phone. I mean, I can look up that shit right now and not pay a cent. Why are people gonna pay to look at that? You know. But I just really like the how old it is, and I really like. I'm actually more interested in collecting the older versions of the magazine, just because uh, it's just a part of American history, something that I like and I'm very fond of. So I think that they've been talking about getting rid of the magazines, but Hugh Hefner died back in 2017, and I don't think they wanted to end that while he was still alive. I think they wanted that to outlive his life. So, yeah, Hugh Hefner was 27 years old when the first magazine came out, and he started that, and it just blew up. And he talked about how he wasn't even gonna make another magazine, but it was so popular, and it was like so anticipated that he just kept going, and it was just like one of those things, man. I think I'm really intrigued and fascinated with like the 50s and 60s and even 70s and the way of life and just like the simple things. Like, for example, like the cars. Why do you think the cars are so expensive nowadays? They're I mean, they're obviously rare, but they were built differently. They were built kind of with the times. Like, whatever was going on in like America at that time, it's kind of like how the car was made and built. Like when you had like all the NASA stuff going on, like some of the cars look like kind of look like rocket ships or like things of the future, and like the way they were built. And for some reason, I just thought that was so cool, man. It's just nowadays everything's mass produced and it's not built as well. It's all aluminum and shit and plastic. But back then, it just everything seemed more authentic, and just like there was more thought that went into it. And Playboy was one of those things where just out of the ordinary, and it still kind of is. Like when you think about like Playboy, like it just seems like something that's just like out of the ordinary, but it's still around and it's been around. But yeah, so it finally seems like it's coming to an end. And I was a little sad about it because I used to enjoy, getting the new issues and stuff. I got the one with Kylie Jenner on the front. That was pretty cool. But I'm really looking in. I already have bought a bunch on eBay because I really do think that they're gonna be worth some money years from now. Just because now it's not continuous anymore. You put a cap on it. So now all you have is a finite amount. And as time goes on, they just get more and more rare. They get tossed out, thrown away, and they become more valuable. And I mean, like I said, the first one's already like ridiculous. But you know what? If I had like every issue except for that one, like I would really seriously seek out the very first Playboy magazine just to complete the collection. But I'm far from that. So. But yeah, I wanted to just talk about that. I thought that was interesting and kind of sucked because I had just got the magazine like 3 or 4 days before that. I haven't even opened it. I opened it after I read the article and I looked at it. I was like, man, this is the last one, huh? But they said they were gonna do like one like every year, like a special edition one, or like every few years or something. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, man. That's all I have today. What was that, 45 minutes or so? That's not too bad. Talking to myself for 45 minutes, But, so yeah, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I have hoodies in production. I have another t-shirt in production. They will be here, so be ready for that. I'll be promoting that for sure. 3 mediums left in these. And quite a few of the Mulberry's Drugs tea. But we'll see. I had another special project I was working on, but I haven't got any email. I haven't got an email back from that company in like a week or two since the coronavirus stuff happened. So I don't even know if they're like working right now. Most likely not. This other business is, I think it's a smaller like mom and pop shop, so it's like that's their livelihood. So they're just, they're like, yo, we got to do this, like it is what it is, you got to suck it up. But yeah, it's in production, so I'm excited for that. I need to get more stickers. I have some designs that I can make into stickers and blast my table, and if anyone wants some stickers can also hit me up, let me know, DM me. But yeah, I hope everyone's safe. I hope everyone's doing all right. They're not too bored yet. I know myself as well. I get bored real easy. But I mean, there's so much. Everything's so accessible, man. There's really no reason to be bored. So go create some shit. Go do something. I mean, this day and age, there's no reason for us to be bored. There's no reason for any of us to be bored. We could do anything we want on our computer, on our phone, create anything we want, so it's just if you want to do it or not. But so I guess that's my piece of advice for the week. So yeah, despite what the circumstances, I'm gonna keep pumping these out every week. I don't know if I'm gonna have guests for a while. We'll see. Yeah, but yeah, man, this is the Mulberry podcast. I appreciate you tuning in, and for all the new listeners, make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers for sure. I'm gonna do a giveaway at 100 subscribers. My idea is when I get 100 subscribers, I'll post a picture on Instagram and I'll talk about what the giveaway is and what it's gonna be of, and then I'll wait I'll set a time and a date, maybe like a day after or 2 days after, and I'll do a live video feed, and I'll draw a name or do something like that. But so, I don't want people to think it's rigged or anything, because I'm not trying to do a rigged one. I want it to be legit. So I'm excited for that. I think I'm almost there, man. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so we can get that giveaway going, man. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next time, man.